Okay, class, so we're now in module 13, that is for week 13. And our topic for today is about the philosophy of Saint Thomas Aquinas. Now, our objective for today first is to get a brief background of the angelic doctor. So, Saint Thomas Aquinas was actually given a name as the angelic doctor. Second is to learn the natural law. And the third one is to understand Saint Thomas Aquinas' definition of happiness. So let us find out who is Saint Thomas Aquinas. Saint Thomas Aquinas was a 13th century Dominican friar, philosopher, and theologian, doctor of the church, patron saint of universities, colleges, and schools. Saint Thomas Aquinas is also known as Doctor Angelicus or Angelic Doctor because of his chastity that remained with him until he died. And when we say chastity, we're talking about being pure or his purity. Now, he was called Angelic Doctor because angels are pure and he was a doctor of the church. Now, Thomas remained constant in his pursuit of the Lord and maintained perfect chastity, perfect chastity throughout his life, which is why he is referred to as the angelic doctor. His father wanted him to enter the Benedictine order, but Thomas entered the Dominican order in Naples, Italy. Now, the Benedictines, officially the Order of Saint Benedict, are a monastic religious order of the Catholic Church following the rule of Saint Benedict. Now, he was born in 1224 and died on March 7, 1274 at Fossa Nova, Italy. Then he was canonized as a saint on July 18, 1323. Saint Thomas Aquinas actually introduced the philosophy of natural law. Now, what is natural law? Now, according to him, natural law is do good and avoid evil. Actually, class, his principle when it comes to natural law is good is to be done and pursued and evil avoided. So as long as you are doing good things and you are avoiding evil things, then you're following the natural law. Now, based on his theory, the natural law is a reflection of the eternal law or the God's law. Now, the natural law is human participation in the eternal law. So, through reason and will that help them discern good from evil, thereby giving them a happy, contented life. Now, with his idea that God rules the world with his reason, Aquinas concludes that God has an idea on how to govern the world. This idea in God for the governance of things is the eternal law. Okay, now St. Thomas' definition of happiness. Now, St. Thomas believed that with the immortality of human soul, happiness can be achieved and it can be found in God alone. Aristotle and St. Thomas Aquinas agreed that man is constantly searching for happiness, but Aquinas believed that we can never achieve complete or final happiness in this life. Now, similar to the philosophy of Aristotle, the telos philosophy, Aquinas thinks that everything has a purpose and follows a plan. He, like Aristotle, believed that everything has a telos, purpose, intent, or goal. And for us humans, it is for us to find happiness. Now, the natural law theory. So Aquinas' natural law theory contains four different types of law. We have the eternal law, natural law, human law, and divine law. Now, the way to understand these four laws and how they relate to one another is via the eternal law, so we'd better start here. So by eternal law, Aquinas means God's rational purpose and plan for all things. And because the eternal law is part of God's mind, then it has always and will always exist. Now, the eternal law is not simply something that God decided at some point to write. Now, if we all act according to reason, then we will all agree to some overarching general rules, what Aquinas calls primary precepts. So these are absolute and binding on all rational agents, and because of this, Aquinas reject relativism. Now, these are the example of primary precept according to St. Thomas Aquinas. Number one, protect and preserve human life. Second is reproduce and educate one's offspring. Third is to know and worship God. And fourth is to live in a society. So for those with faith, no evidence is necessary. And for those without it, no evidence will suffice. Happiness is secured through virtue. It is a good attained by man's own will. And always remember, where there is humility, there is wisdom.